invited to Sister to Sister by a friend, a sister friend,
Mm-hmm.
and she and I used to work together at the post office along with Apostle Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
And so she told me about this wonderful fellowship of women, sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And so she said, well, come out. It's every third Monday of the month, and we fellowship, and everything is confidential. And so I thought, this is something I might like, forming new sisterhoods and getting new sister friends and building new relationships. And so I decided to come. And it's been such a blessing to me because everything is confidential. And, I come and it's like my fill up, for the week.
Mm-hmm.
And so I talk about things that, I may be going through, dealing with my personal life, some trauma that, with the situation with my son being incarcerated.
Mm-hmm.
And so just being here amongst other sisters and finding out that I'm not the only one going through these life experiences.
That's key because most of us, we think, hey, I'm the only person going through this. And
Right.
that's just really not the case.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not.
So I'm thankful for Sister to Sister. I look forward to it every third Monday of the month, and I invite other sisters and I say, hey, because I want them to benefit and be blessed.
Yeah.
It's like I have benefited from it, and I'm being blessed from it, and I don't want to miss it.
Come on.
I'm committed.
Right.
So I love it. I enjoy it.
I came to Sister because I relocated to Cincinnati, as you guys know. And I remember when I first came in, LaShawn, you guys were doing it at the beginning of the month, like during the day at lunch.
Yes.
And so I always felt like I was missing out because I'm at work and I don't get to come in. So when they start having it in the evening, I was like, yes, I finally get to come. I can join. And just being able to meet with the sisters, like you said, and be able to talk about real life stuff. And I think for me that was a difference because we did talk about life, but we put the biblical foundation on it and how to handle the life situations. Like I'm having a hard time in my marriage, or I'm having this issue with my child, or I'm having this issue at work, and being able to talk about that and hear from people who've been through it. I think that was key for me.
Yeah, I think so. I think knowing that this is a safe space is also
Absolutely.
a great thing for people to realize it. Because, we get in our feelings, I don't want my business out in the street, and I'm just going to hold on to this thing and suffer. When, help is available, and that's one of the hardest things for us to do is to go out and reach help. But just when you come, it's like, you realize, oh, this is a safe space. I can share, and I know the things that I've spoken of here will stay here.
Right.
And I don't have to worry about seeing my business on social media and this and that and the other. And so I think that was a great healing process for me, knowing that I can say the things I need to say, knowing that, my words are going to be safe. They're not going to be used against me.
Right.
It's only going to be used to help me.
Right.
And then realizing the different women that you meet as sister and sister, and the things, not just that they go through, but the things that they do, their professions and things they do on the side. And it's like, I can connect with that.
Yeah.
Oh, and oh my gosh,
Because we all come from different walks of life.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I enjoy Sister to Sister, and I just like Kim said, they used to have it during the day, and I was like, wow. So I was so glad when Apostle Deborah said we need to have this like on the third Monday of each month,
in the evening,
because it's a refreshing. It's like you come together with sisters and like you say, it's confidential.
Yeah,
you learn so much from others, and sometimes you like, I can't tell my real sister, or I can't tell my cousin. But you can tell your sister's sister.
Someone that you feel safe.
Right.
Opening up to. And quote unquote exposing yourself.
Right.
Your vulnerability.
Right.
And I like how she incorporates different movies.
Right.
In some of our sessions, we come together. It's a balance, because sometimes we watch movies, sometimes we have a lesson, at the table, and and so it's like we get to open up.
It's a very comfortable atmosphere where you can open up and join in. And like you said, that some people may, feel like I can't share this. But we can share anything. And,
you can.
And with the Word of God, you know, we're healed.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
we're healed.
Mhm.
I know my friend that I invited. She loved it, and she said, I know one time she said, but you know, I have to get something to eat. But we provide food.
That's the
Yes.
best part.
Yeah. Yeah.
We
So you don't have to
Yeah.
stop and grab anything for the kids or do any of that. It's
Yeah.
right here. Just eat
Mhm.
here when you get
Right.
here.
Mhm.
But you know what else I like? Because the enemy tries to make you feel isolated and
Mhm.
alone.
Mhm.
And he tries to make you feel like nobody will understand what you're doing. Everybody's
Yeah.
going to judge you. You
True.
can't tell this. So you
Mhm.
got to carry this burden on your shoulder
You don't
all
have
by
to.
yourself.
Mhm.
So it's good when you get to come amongst sisters and go, yeah, look, this is what I'm struggling with. And know
Yeah.
that no matter what you lay out on the table, nobody's going to look at you and go, oh my God. It's almost like, girl, I've been through that. I've been there, done that. Here's how I got
Yeah.
over it.
Right.
Absolutely. And we can get prayer.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
if we need prayer and deliverance.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's a good thing for us to come together as women. Because as
Yeah.
women, sometimes it's hard for us to come together and just,
Yeah.
you know, be vulnerable and
Let your
share.
guard down.
Yes,
Right.
let your
Right.
guard down.
Mhm.
But as
Yeah.
sister to sister, we can do that.
We can do that.
And that's another thing that I love is because the atmosphere is so comfortable.
Yeah.
But another thing I also love is that even with sister to sister, because like with Dream, they go from the youngest to the oldest,
Yeah.
you know, and everything in between. And I love that you can come and not just talk about yourself
Mm-hmm.
and what you're going through, but even things that you know your children, your
Yeah.
grandchildren
Mhm.
are going through, and you can
Right.
still get that help as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have to be just strictly, oh, well, this is my problem. But however, you know, I have a friend or a child or a
Mhm.
grandchild going through something, and I can even bring that up. Even
Yeah.
if the person I'm talking about can't come or doesn't want to come, I can
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, you know, how can I help this person?
Mhm.
Or,
Exactly.
you know, how can I direct them, or what do you suggest?
Mhm.
And because like you said before, we come from all different walks of life.
Mhm.
You know, we have different experiences and,
Yeah.
and different professions, and the help is probably right there in the room, and all you have to do is ask.
Resources. I'm glad you brought
Absolutely.
that up. Resources is an important part because you never know. Maybe I'm dealing with something or someone I know who's dealing with something, and you may be the answer. So
Mhm.
just connecting you to that person, or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be. Maybe you're looking for a job. Maybe you're looking for anything. You know,
Right.
you just need an outlet to be able to talk about these things.
Or maybe you're going through a family crisis.
Yeah.
And because we are sisters, we can, you know,
Right.
contact Apostle Edwards and say, hey,
Mhm.
can you and your team pray?
Yeah.
You know,
Right,
I'm dealing
right.
with
Mhm.
this. My family is dealing with this. My
Right.
child.
Mhm.
And, you know, so we can cover each other in prayer,
Yeah.
you know.
Or even have them come in. And we
Mhm.
can
Yeah.
have a session. We can talk.
Mhm.
You know, so that we can help try to get to the root cause of what's really going on, or at least point you in the right direction. If we
Right.
can't help you, you know, here at Sister to Sister, you know, we're also a resource
Yeah.
to be able to direct you in whichever way you may need to go.
Mhm.
And I think it's key to just knowing that help is available. We just have
Yeah.
to be willing to
Mhm.
step out and say,
And do
hey,
it.
I need help.
I need some help.
Yeah, I need
Ask
help.
for it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Kim talked about resources.
Mhm.
I remember that one young lady came in. She was without a job,
Mhm.
and we began to pray that she, you know, get a job. And now she has a full-time job and
Very
is doing
good.
well. So, you know, every situation we can, you know,
Yeah.
talk about and deal with.
Because you never know. We had one young lady who just had a baby, and I'm like, oh well, my daughter's having another baby. They were going to have 3, so they
Mhm.
kept everything. They had a boy and a girl. And I was like, well, what does she have? And the girl, oh well, pray, look at the Lord, because my daughter's having a boy. She got all girl stuff. Here you go. You can have from the crib, everything,
Right.
clothes from
Mhm.
3. What was it? Newborn all the way up to 3 years old.
Wow.
You know,
Yeah.
And that's
then-
because we had some conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I remember the session she had on grief. And so
Mhm.
at the time, I had 3 family members
Mm.
that was experiencing grief,
Yeah.
you know, and so they came and that helped them. It was a
Yeah.
benefit to them in their healing process.
Mhm.
So, you know,
Yeah.
sister to sister has been such a blessing to me and my family, you
Yeah.
know.
That's wonderful.
And you know what? I remember, Sean, you guys did a lesson on just life itself and preparing for death and how to get stuff in order. And that was
yeah.
something, being young, I had not thought about that. So I was like, oh my God, we do need to get our paperwork in order. We do need to make sure we have a plan. And if we don't, because anything can happen at any age, you just never know when it may come. And I think for us, we had always thought putting it off. And now it's like, okay, let's sit down and let's talk about this. Let's decide. Do you want a funeral? Do you want to be cremated? Do you want any extra life things done? Do you want to be put on life support? Do you not? Do you want to be in a nursing home? Those are important questions, very important. But you wouldn't have thought to ask that had I not gone through that session with you.
Yeah, I mean, because, things will come up and you'll be like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Can I talk to you afterwards? You know? And it was like, I know one time we were having some problems with my grandson. Not really problems, but he was just something wasn't right. And, Yvonne, over 30 years experience in childcare. And she was like, this is what you do. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that seems so simple. Why didn't I even think of it myself? But, sometimes you get caught up in your situation. You can't think clearly or you can't think outside the box. And some things may be right in front of you and you don't even realize it, And so that's why it's so good for us to come together.
Yeah, it has
this conversation. Because you never know. How it's going to benefit you. Who knows what? Like she said, resources. It's just so many resources within each and every last one of us, And as we stated earlier, we all come from different walks of life.
Yeah.
So sister to sister is really beneficial.
It is. And I think another a great thing, especially when we're talking about my grandson, is the one thing she said was, well, this is how when you're praying with children, you pray like this. Yeah. And it's like, and that's why I'm saying, well, why, we pray all the time, but I'm not thinking, as adults, there's a way we pray, but as children, there's a whole different way you pray. Mm-hmm. And so once I did that, it was just like, wow, like that seems so simple, but it was so enlightening because you're not thinking, okay, I know how to pray because I'm an adult and I've been doing it, I've been, coming to church, I've been doing this and that and the other, but then you have to think of what is the environment or the dynamic that you're in, and who is it that needs prayer? Who, so it's going to be different from you praying with a 3-year-old to somebody that's 33 or 13, and it's just those things, and it doesn't have to be a burning bush experience with everything. Right. Because oftentimes we're looking like, oh, it's got to be something grand as a solution, and it's not always necessarily that. Like I said, the Lord comes in a still, small voice. Yeah. But we looking for that great explosion, that great bush far off, just burning like thunder and lightning. That's it. But it doesn't always have to be that way. Right. And then it helps you because you start training your mind to think differently. Yeah. Exactly. Between the spirit and the natural, and you bring those things together. But this is some things that I learned being in sister to sister.
Yeah. So Kim, what was that session that we did, the mama trauma? Was it sister to sister? Yeah, it was sister to sister. The mama trauma. And so each of us, the 3 of us, we had different traumatic experiences in our lives. And that was really good because I was able to share my mama trauma. And you shared your mama trauma. Oh, yeah. And so even as sisters, we're still, a lot of us are mothers. Yeah. And we go to different things throughout life. And so, I can come to sister and say, hey, this is what's going on with me. Yeah. Even though all of I'm an empty nester. Yeah. But we're going to be parenting until we die. Yeah. It just transitions. Right. So I can share with you all what's going on with my adult children, because it seems like now that they're adults, things are more challenging.
Different type of parenting. My girlfriend told me, she said, I've realized I've become a consultant.
See? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I said, you know what, that is the perfect word for it because your parenting just changes. Yeah. But you're still parenting. Right. Absolutely. And sometimes, and it's like, okay, well, I've never had to parent adult children, so I need to ask somebody who's parented some adult children to help me along this journey because this is different.
Yes. I told you guys about, I was listening to this one minister and he was saying that this woman told him that by the time I finally understood what it took to be a mother of toddlers, my kids were 30, 40 years old. So when I had the toddlers running around, I didn't know. But at 40 years old, when my kids are 40 now, it's going, okay, so this is what you need to do when they're doing this. And this is what you need to do to get them together when they're acting figuring out, but you don't know that when they're 2 and 3.
Well, somebody says that with our children, we're learning, but with our grandchildren, we know.
Right.
Yes. Oh, I like that. I like
what
that.
they say.
That's
So
true.
we didn't know as parents and raising our children, then we know we can help our children with raising their children, our grandchildren, you know. So, yes.
That's good. I like that.
So it's I'm telling you, as a parent, it's like, okay, these adult children are really
something else.
Something else.
Yeah.
And you know, I like the fact that when I came into this ministry and came into Dream, my husband and I were transitioning because we had gone from being separated for a year to now trying to bring the family back together. And our youngest Christian was having epilepsy, so he was having seizures a lot. And we had just found out from the school that he was suicidal. So he had told a teacher in second grade that I think my life would be better if I was no longer here. So getting to come in and talk about those issues and trying to bring a family back together and dealing with a child who has health issues and dealing with children who are trying to, you know, get stable. And I've moved to a different city and we're with a different ministry, and being able to have the sisterhood here, but also have the expertise to help me talk through some of the issues that we're going through with the kids that we didn't understand. So having Yvonne just talk me through that stuff, and then even build those relationships with them where now Christian comes and talks to her.
You know, I often, one of our sisters that had visited us, you know, one day she was talking to me about her grandchildren. And I said, well, you know, they're your grandchildren, but your adult children also need you still. And she said, I never thought about that. I said, it's different levels of instructions. I said, so we train up our children. We don't stop being parents.
No.
So, and that's what the sister, I was able to tell her that, because sometimes some people get offended, you know, about if you talk about their children and their adult children. I'll raise my children, but we can talk about that to sister.
Yeah.
And just admit, you know, the truth. This is what's happening in my household, and I need help. Or, you know what, let's celebrate. Something good is going on. So the celebrations that take place. I'm having a grandchild. I'm having a niece. I did this. I got
my
this
daughter's graduating.
There we go.
You know? Yeah, she's getting her master's degree. So we can share all of that, you know. I just kind of wish that I would have found out about it earlier. But I came at the right time. I do believe that I came at the right time. Timing is everything.
And I do like that the sessions are not played or recorded. So you get to have that privacy of this moment happening right now in this room behind closed doors, and you know that that's not going to be thrown back in your face later. I can say I have these issues, and no, nobody is going to say later, you know, well, this is why you got that issue.
You're right about that. And then it puts people at ease knowing that these sessions aren't recorded, because we do get a lot of people say, well, why won't you record? I said, because we talk about some things that everybody over the airways don't need to know about.
And I want you to go live. So, can you do it live?
So, you know, that just means you need to come on in.
And another thing that I like is only every third Monday for 1 hour. And we get in and we get out. It's timely.
It's not starting 10 minutes late, 15 minutes late. No. It's 7 o'clock. We're ready to go.
We're mindful of your time.
We
understand time is the one thing you can't get back. So we want to be good stewards over people's time.
And I appreciate that, because you definitely, as a mom, we have 50 million things going on
all
at one time.
We do.
Even just 50 million at once.
So it's good to be able to come in and get that needed refill up, like you said. Just get that out the way. Get out what I'm dealing with. Feel that encouragement at the end, get that prayer, and then keep going. But even in between the sessions, still being able to communicate with each other and still be in contact with each other. So after that one session a month, I'm not feeling like, oh my God, I got to hold all of this in until the next session next month.
You can reach out and say, hey, this is what's going on with me, and I need prayer. You know.
There's a bonding that takes place. It's not, like you said, it's not just for the third Monday of the month from 7 to 8. You know, I can pick up the phone and I can call you. I can send you a text and say, hey, you know, this is going on. I think most importantly, we want women to know that there is a safe haven. There is a place that women can come and they can talk. They can get the help that they need, or they can be directed to the help that they need. And just be able to share what they're going through. And it, like you said, Kim, it doesn't always have to be an issue or a challenge. We can come together and we can celebrate.
Yes.
It's just 1 hour, 7 to 8 p.m., the third Monday of every month.
Yes.
And we can come together. We can love on each other. We can encourage each other through the Word of God.
That's
we can, you know, uplift each other,
Right.
which is really what we need in this day and age, and we need that. And help is available. We just have to ask.
Yes,
We
that's
just
it.
have to ask.
It doesn't matter of age, all ages.
That's right.
Doesn't matter.
Age doesn't matter.
And
And
don't let
neither though race. It doesn't
absolutely.
matter.
And don't let the fact that I have a child, because we can provide
That's
child
right.
care.
We sure
Uh-huh.
do.
Provide
Come on.
child care. So
And they
We
get
take it
to
away.
eat.
exactly,
That's
we take
right.
away all the obstacles.
Yeah.
So all we need you to do is come on
To
out.
show up.
Come on.
Come on out.
Mhm.